there! My name's Amber, and I'm so excited that you are joining me today for meditation basics. So this video, we're going to go over some of your very basic things that I say at the beginning of every meditation practice that I teach. And then I will also demonstrate a couple of poses that you could choose to lay in. You may notice I have a little belly here. I am 24 weeks pregnant while I am filming this. Crazy adventures happen in life all the time, and pregnancy is just a part of womanhood. So without further ado, let's get started. So whenever I start a meditation practice, I always start with a little bit of movement and some breathing, just because we are coming from the chaos of our days and the chaos of our life. And so if we can take a few deep cleansing breaths and kind of start to unplug from the world and tune out the world and tune into ourselves, that can be super helpful. So I have my AirPods in. I prefer to practice, especially if I'm doing a guided meditation, and even more so if my husband's home. I prefer to practice with my headphones in because they help block out the sound of what's going on around you and really help you to tune into the voice that's guiding you through your practice. With any practice, whether it's physical asana or meditation practice, know that your teacher is there as just a guide. If something does not feel right or comfortable in your body, you do not have to do it. If something does not feel comfortable, you do not have to do it the way that they are doing it or the way that they are guiding. Adjust and shift to whatever feels comfortable. For example, I often will lead you through a breathwork exercise to help you tune more into your body, and then we'll do a more quiet time for a meditation after that. And I typically will guide you to inhale and exhale through your nose only, because there's multiple reasons to it, and I could give a 40-minute and have given a 40-minute lecture on that. But the short and simple of it is it's just better for your breath to inhale and exhale through your nose. It's better for your body, and it helps stimulate your parasympathetic nervous system, which is what allows you to relax or allows you to enter into that rest and digest state and jump out of that sympathetic state and the fight or flight type mode that many of us live in. But if that inhale and exhale through your nose doesn't feel good, it's okay to inhale through your nose, exhale through your mouth, or whatever. I've often had to do that with guided practices where my first 5 to 10 breaths are in through my nose, out through my mouth, until I could really start to release and relax. So just know that whatever your teacher, whether your teacher is me or you are being taught by someone else, know that whatever it is that they're saying and guiding you through is really meant to be a guideline and a suggestion. And if it doesn't feel good, you don't have to do it. You are not a failure or less than for not being able to do it. It's more important for me as a teacher that you listen to your body. And this is your time for you to do what you need to do to take care of you. So with that being said, the way I'm currently sitting is often a way that I will practice my meditation in the mornings. If my hips are really bothering me, I will slide my meditation cushion under. So this came with my yoga mat. It's called Space Between. It was a kit with the super thin, super grippy yoga mat and a inflatable cushion. So I actually like the inflatable cushion because I can adjust the firmness by putting air in or letting air out. It's also super easy to travel with. I've traveled with this twice now in the world of pandemic. Traveling is obviously less frequent, but it's super easy to travel with. But generally you want to sit in a position where you can get your spine nice and tall. I often prefer to sit on the ground because it's more grounding to be on the ground. If you have a lot of trouble falling asleep in meditation and you're not doing like a meditation for sleep, I don't recommend doing the meditation in your bed, because that's, our brain is kind of wired that bed is where we sleep. So ground, you could also sit in the couch or a comfy chair. Again, when you're sitting in a chair, it's nice if you can be in a position where at least your feet can be on the floor. So I wouldn't necessarily sit in my Papasan chair for a meditation because I can't sit up straight very well in it, and I can't really get my feet on the ground in it. But if you have like a cushy chair or your couch maybe, and you could like prop some pillows behind you, so you can, again, still have that straight spine and the support that you need for your back. If sitting like cross-legged like this is not accessible for you, another position option would be up on your knees, like a hero's pose. So back up a little bit more. So you can have your feet together, like my legs are smushed together. So you can have it like this. Or you could, if that's not comfortable, you can take your cushion or a couple pillows and slide that under your butt. So this one also feels really good too, especially depending on how tight I'm feeling in my hips and pelvis right now. I've also, in a longer meditation, started off cross-legged and had to switch to this just because my legs needed that change. So those are your two kind of seated postures that you can do. So the other postures for a meditation practice, especially a longer practice or like a yoga nidra, or which is a deep relaxation meditation, guided meditation type practice, I highly recommend laying down just because it really helps your body get heavy and reach that first level of relaxation and release. And then once you can get your body relaxed, then you can start to relax your mind as well. So this is a bolster. This one's Manduka. I got it for my birthday a couple of years ago. You can get other brands on Amazon. The rectangular one is the one I have. They make other shapes, other sizes. If you don't have a bolster, a couple of pillows works. Like I would get probably bed pillows. I've heard couch cushions make a great replacement for a bolster. I don't know what size couch cushions people have, but our couch cushions were not a pleasant alternative for me. So that's why I got the bolster. But some like bed pillows would probably be like maybe 2 bed pillows, because usually, unless you have really firm ones, this is a pretty firm cushion. So you could, if you're gonna lay down, you can prop this under your knees, and then you could either have your back flat on the mat, like this. Here, my legs are like hip width distance apart, and then my knees are supported enough that allows my lower back to be flush with the floor. And then I don't have a pillow under me right now, but if this is uncomfortable, like I can kind of feel some sinus drainage, you can stick like a little, like a thinner pillow underneath kind of your neck and shoulder, your head and neck, right to the top of your shoulders. And then just allow your arms to lay at your side. And here's where you can really start to relax in a laying down position. If you're pregnant and you can't lay flat on your back for an extended period of time, we can do left or right side lying. Left is what's encouraged because of the blood flow with baby and the placenta and all of that. But if your left side's not comfortable for you to lay on, you don't have to lay on it unless your doctor told you otherwise. But like side lying is obviously preferential, because when you lay flat on your back for too long in pregnancy, it can suppress your vena cava, which affects your blood flow. You'll get dizzy and lightheaded and potentially pass out if you don't move, if you lay on your back flat for too long. So if you are pregnant, especially second trimester and beyond, I would recommend choosing a side lying position or a propped up. So either this side lying that we're going to go over, or the supported bound angle that we're gonna do as well today, which is one of my favorites. So you're gonna do the side lying. Highly recommend a pillow. And you can just kind of tuck it with your arm here. However, you can fold it. This is a really thin, it was a cheap like $2 IKEA pillow. So fold it up and get yourself comfy. And then you can take your bolster, stick it between your legs to help keep your pelvis more aligned, and get nice and comfy here. And just lay here. And you can also do this laying on your other side. And then you could also put like I could feel where laying like this, my shoulder could get uncomfortable for a longer practice. So you could always put extra blankets down. There's no such thing as too many props in a restorative class or a longer meditation practice. So next, we'll go over reclined bound ankle. This is my favorite posture to do a meditation in, especially if my meditation is following a physical yoga practice. And this one is safe to do in pregnancy because you're laying down at an incline. So you need ideally 3 blocks. If you don't have blocks, couch pillows or cushions, blankets folded up and stacked, anything that you can kind of stack. You could also use books, but I don't know if those work great either. If that's all you have, by all means, stack some books on top of each other. But if you have extra like pillows and blankets, that's probably going to be more comfortable and less likely to shift once you get them settled. Whereas like with books, I'm clumsy. So what I do for reclined bound angle, you need 3 blocks, ideally. If you don't have a block, again, you could stick an extra pillow under here, like where this block is, or a blanket. You'll put your bolster or your pillow, whatever it is that you're using as a bolster, on it. So long ways, or like in line with the mat. You have the block you can put this way, or you could put it long ways if you wanted a little bit different height. You just kind of have to play with it and see what feels more comfortable to you. I tend to put the block like long ways, so like this, up against the mat. So the long edge is parallel with the top of the mat. And your bolster on top. And then take your hips here, scooch them right up to the edge of the bolster. And then you'll need 2 other blocks, one for each knee. And this is where you could also use pillows. I've absolutely done this without blocks and just pillows, but the blocks kind of give just that little extra support. But you're gonna have your legs in like a butterfly. So here, let me turn so you can see. So our legs are gonna be in butterfly position, and then we'll have blocks and pillows underneath our knees to support our knees. And like I said, this is just from my own practice. I found if I have a block and they're on their flat, so the shortest height is like flat on the floor, and then a little pillow on top of that. The pillow gives a nice like extra cushion, but then the block gives support. And just kind of scooch it and shift it until you get it in a spot that feels comfy. And then you might want a blanket. So, and you could also throw the blanket on for the side lying or just the regular lying flat on your back. Throw the blanket on, and then with the bolster up against your back, your lower back and hips here, you'll lower down. And you can pull the blanket up as high as you want, but with these more deep relaxation type meditation postures and practices, it's common for your heart rate to go down and your blood pressure to go down, for you to get a little chilly. So socks, sweatshirt, cozy blankets, whatever it is that you need to feel comfy and cozy. And if you have an eye pillow, which you can get them, I think, relatively cheap on Amazon, I keep mine in the freezer, which is this little like rectangle. And put an eye pillow, Have your arms just kind of rest at your sides. And this is reclined bound angle. So this is another great posture to practice meditation in. And then when you're ready to come out of it, I usually toss the blanket off to the side. You bring your legs up with plant your feet on the floor. If I can, depending on how I position myself, I try to move whatever direction I'm going to roll. I try to move the blocks and pillows out of the way. And then I roll onto your side and sit up. And that's also how you would get out of lying down Savasana practice. So kind of rolling to one side and then pressing yourself up with an exhale, pregnant or not, that is the recommended way. Coming out of any of those types of postures, you want to make sure you move slowly, just to honor your body in whatever very relaxed state it got into. So as you are changing positions, give your body and your blood flow time to adjust. So those are the physical posture options for meditation. So you have easy pose, kneeling pose, lying down on your back, side lying, and bound ankle pose. So those are my favorite kind of go-to postures. The other thing that most people will guide you to do with meditation is to close your eyes. For some people, that's not comfortable for whatever reason, whether they had some sort of trauma or they're just feeling too anxious right now, and that level of turning off is too much for them. So if you're ever in a state with a practice where you don't feel comfortable closing your eyes, you can either like gaze down your nose, like trying to look at the tip of your nose, or just like kind of gazing down. Or you could have like a candle that you're looking at, or like just an object that's not moving. So my block is not going to move, especially if I'm doing like a seated meditation. I can just like fixate my visual focus on one point on the block. So just any kind of item that's not really going to move that you can focus your attention on and concentrate on, because that's what allows you to again go into your meditation. You can also have, and then up, or you can just close your eyes, like whatever, if that those are kind of options if closing your eyes is not accessible. Another thing you'll often hear with meditation, especially meditations that I teach, because I like having like a mantra or a phrase that we come back to, is a mantra. So like I recorded one today where the mantra was chaos around me, peace within me. And so as your mind starts to wander, you can come back to that phrase. Because meditation isn't as much about getting the mind completely still. Like for some people, eventually in their practice, they do get to experience that, but that's not the everyday experience of most yogis, especially when you start to talk to them. They're like, yeah, no, my meditation practice is not my brain turning completely off, but it is intentionally tuning in, which is what, so when we say we're doing meditation, this is just a fun yoga philosophy fact. When we say we're doing meditation, what we're actually doing is the practice of pratyahara. Pratyahara is withdrawal of the senses. So we're withdrawing from the world and tuning into our bodies. So I have found this practice to be super helpful after working as a nurse, and I'm sure that I will find it helpful through motherhood as well. But those are some of the basic things for meditation that every meditation practice that I lead, that I will try to guide you through. So your different postures, your eyes, your eye focus, and then your mantras. And the fact that meditation is simply the practice of pratyahara, the practice of withdrawing our senses, tuning into our bodies, and tuning out of the world. So when I first started practicing yoga and would go through Savasana at the end of a class, and I was still going to church and practicing in a religion, I actually found my meditation and Shavasana experience to allow me to connect deeper with God and give me that spiritual connection. So meditation can enhance whatever spiritual belief or practice that you have. It's not, I've been told it's opening the gateway to the devil and stuff like that. That's not actually what meditation is. It's a matter of withdrawing our senses, tuning in and connecting. So if you believe that God is within you and that, you have, Jesus within you, then when you tune out to the world, you can tune in and connect with Christ who lives in you. And so that's like kind of your more religious spiritual practice, or it can be connecting with source or the universe or Mother Nature or whatever higher power you ascribe to, but it's ultimately tuning out the world, tuning in to what's in, and finding peace and strength and all of that. So that's all I have for you guys today. I hope that this is helpful, some helpful tools for your meditation practice, and I look forward to practicing with you again soon.